There's a button under the handle. Press that in.
Okay. Now what?
Open the door.
You know, it's because of the man that made these movies here that we won't be making the joke about, oh, what if this actor jumped from DC to MCU, or what if they tried to play roles in those two universes at once, because it might just be becoming a reality. So, for years, at least from what I've seen, the golden rule was always, if you were under contract with DC or Marvel, then you couldn't cross over into the other universe until your contract was up. But now, things seem to be changing in this sense, or could very well change, as with the most recent hire by DC at CEO being James Gunn, it's kind of a not necessarily awkward situation, but an unusual one that I don't think we've kind of gotten used to yet, mainly because James Gunn's Marvel franchise, that being the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, just reached its third and final installment. Now, it seems like from the movie and credit scenes that there's going to be more to come with the new Guardians team and maybe some of the older characters, but James Gunn will not be a part of it because he will be running DC and won't necessarily have time to do both. But we are hearing word that some actors who are in DC could be crossing over to Marvel, and some Marvel actors could be crossing into DC. Heck, it's already happened. When you look at, say, James Gunn's wife, Jennifer Holland, she is Harcourt in Peacemaker, and she also appeared in this past Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Plus, you also have Chakudwi Iwuji. I'm sorry if I said his name wrong. I have not heard it said out loud. I feel bad when I say names like that wrong because it makes me feel like I'm being ignorant. He was obviously one of the butterflies in the Peacemaker series, but was the main bad guy, the High Evolutionary, in this most recent Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So it's kind of already happened, but with the smaller actors. But now, there's a pretty big actress who plays a pretty big role in the DC universe, or at least will. She was prominent in the original DCEU universe, and James Gunn has said that he is sticking with this actress for this role, and that the Suicide Squad was not the last we've seen of her character, that being Margot Robbie, who obviously is infamous nowadays for playing the Harley Quinn, the first movie adaptation of the character. We've seen her in 3 separate projects, and we were wondering, with the new DC, thing going on, is she still going to be a part of it? Well, James Gunn has pretty much confirmed that, yes, she's not going anywhere.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Had to go number 2.
Good to know.
And one thing I kind of forgot to mention that kind of, gave me the idea to make this video was also that Karen Gillan, who's known for playing Nebula in the MCU and the Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers movies, also said that she would love to play Poison Ivy in James Gunn's DCU, as she has stated to like working with the director. However, this wouldn't directly, basically be what I'm talking about, because at this point, I feel like her contract with Marvel is up, so her going from Marvel to DC after the fact isn't necessarily what I'm getting at here. I know there's going to be mentions that, well, what about what Karen Gillan said? But that's completely different, because I feel like if she were to play Poison Ivy down the line, she wouldn't be doing Marvel anymore. So, a little bit different there, but just thought I'd mention it. Except maybe she just might be. But I also wouldn't freak out about this too much, because recently it was said that Marvel has sent out an email or whatever to Margot Robbie about potentially playing Sue Storm in Marvel's upcoming Fantastic Four movie. Now, what does this mean in general? If she accepts the role, I don't think that that'll be it for her time as Harley Quinn. Because when you look at James Gunn and Kevin Feige and them being so close, like having this tight-knit friendship, I think they're going to be willing to use the same actors in their universes and let them pull double duties. Now, will it get a little bit confusing sometimes? Yes, I feel like if both parties try to do it too much and they do it in a confusing way where everything from DC and Marvel with those actors or actresses are coming out at the same time, you can definitely start to, kind of lose what's going on. But if they work with it and only use some of the actors that they need to use in both universes, then I feel like it won't be as confusing. And plus, I think, instead of just handicapping these actors to one universe or the other. It's cool to let them explore both universes. I mean, we've had so many people go from DC to Marvel or Marvel to DC in recent years. Zachary Levi, he started out in Thor, but became known as Shazam in the DC universe. Ryan Reynolds, he technically started in the Marvel universe when he was in Blade Trinity, moved to the DC universe when he played Green Lantern, and then, after that flopped terribly, he went into the Marvel universe and now joining the MCU as Deadpool, and that's about to enter its third and final installment. And there's been others. Chris Evans, it wasn't DC to Marvel, but he started in Marvel early with the Fantastic Four movies, only to become more well-known as Captain America later down the line. And like I said, it basically can go on and on. There's so many actors that have done it. And I know, too, people's main complaint about this, if you have these stars pulling, double duty for DC and Marvel, won't this take away from some of the smaller actors that, might be better for the role? But in the end, I feel like James Gunn knows what he's doing here. And it's like the whole Superman thing. People are reaching for these humongous names to be the next Superman after Henry Cavill, and I don't think James Gunn's really going to go the route of a humongous name. He might go with a known actor in this case, but he wants somebody younger, so I feel like he's going to find somebody who's, out there, but not quite there yet. He's looking for the next Superman, for that to be the big break for the actor. So I don't necessarily think it's going to take a lot away from other actors and actresses, especially ones who aren't big. I just think that some people are born to play more than one character, especially comic book wise when you talk about other universes, that it always seemed to make sense. But I think it's never been more perfect than now because of Feige and Gunn's friendship and how their relationship works, and, how they're both still supporting each other, even though for Feige you gotta look at it as one of his directors jumped ship and is now, CEO of DC, and the fact that they're, still getting along and whatnot, that it's not out of the realm of possibility that we're going to see actors and actresses just go DC Marvel at the exact same time and it not really be a problem anymore. Or who knows, maybe it was never a problem. Maybe that was just one of those unwritten rules that somebody mentioned and you're just kind of going with it. It's not in the rules, but for the most part people take that as you really shouldn't do that. It's more for the dignity of things, because yeah, they're still rival universes, but I feel like they're more closer connected than we realize, because look at some characters in DC and look at some characters in Marvel and just see how close they are to each other. Marvel's copied off of DC before, DC's copied off of Marvel before, so, it wouldn't be unusual for them to share actors for different characters in their universes at this point. So, that's it for me. I would really like to hear your opinions in the comments below, but until then, stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.